This is Terry with Collabo Creative again. It is Wednesday, so we are back at you. We've got another 5 minutes of tips and tricks to help you improve creativity and collaboration in your business and life. This week, we are going to be talking about how you get to know your customer better and why that's so important. And then, of course, we've got Nikki here, and she's going to give us some fantastic tips on how to do that. So hopefully you'll be able to take what we are throwing at you and able to then apply that to your business setting or your personal setting and get to know more about the people you serve. So if you run a business or you're in charge of improving it, one of the best ways to do that, you and I both know this, is to actually get to know your customer better, right? Now, some naysayers out there might be saying, hold up, Terry, hold up. There is a really famous guy, I think his name is Henry Ford, who has this quote saying, well, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Now, we don't know if that's actually true. I think there's been some research done around that actual quote, and it's not actually been documented that he said this, but this is a very popular quote that people will say. The fact that he would say what people would have wanted is faster horses starts to tie to a deeper insight. They might have said they wanted faster horses because they didn't know what technology was out there. But if you dig deeper and you look at the insights, they wanted to get from point A to point B at a faster speed. Now, how that happens could have been an automobile, right? And that's why when we're talking about getting to know your customer, it's about getting to know them at that deeper level. What are those deeper drives? What is that latent needs, what we would call desires? What do they dream about? What do they love? And how do they live? Those deep insights will help get you information about how you can serve your customer better or your people, right?
Yes.
So our tip that we're going to talk about is a framework that we like to use in our research and how we set up research. And we apply this to how we set up the different kinds of activities for collecting information. It has 3 parts. It goes say, do, make. So we want to look at what people say, what people do, and what people make. Nikki's here to bring in some insights around what kinds of activities you can do to find out this information, because she's our lead researcher and is phenomenal at doing this kind of work. So we are happy to have you here.
Thank you.
When we talk about what people say, we're thinking of, hearing their voices. So what are some kinds of research activities or simple ways that our viewers can gather that information?
I mean, it can be as simple as person-to-person interview, one-to-one. You can also use technologies and use a survey. It can be a focus group. You can talk to a group of people and say what are their daily activities. You can do a survey. It can be either on paper or it can be online. Or it can be video call as well. We have recently tried that and it works fantastic. It's like just being there with the person.
Yeah, and bring that technology in, right?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Well, so the second part, so what we look at the different way that we can collect information after we think about what they say, we also look at what people do, right? So can you share some different tactics that our viewers, again, that they can go back to their business and do some of these things to find out what people do?
So things in order for you to understand what people do is to be in their environments, shadowing. You can do observations. You can do observations with a little bit of talking just to understand what they're doing step by step. Just be there and experience their environment.
Nice. So it's important that we see them in their context, in their environment, and that we are basically just kind of watching. Right?
Correct.
Nice. Like secret shoppers as well too, right? That would be another way. Awesome. So this last one, we think about how we can collect information around what people make. Now this one's a little bit unique, right? And so we should call back to where we actually got this framework from. So there's this woman, her name is Liz Sanders, and she is a huge thought leader in the area of something that's called generative research. Generative research is really about how do we look at what people create? Because when we look at how people solve their own problems or how they create workarounds, there's a lot of information in there that tells us about what are the needs that they see, because they will solve for their own needs.
Exactly.
So I know you brought something with you to help us think about how do we collect data, or how could we collect data around what people make?
I got you the Collabo Kit. This is a tool that we use when we want people to generate something, to come up with ideas.
Okay.
So if you want to open it.
Okay.
Do me a
I
favor.
got it. Ooh, this is fun. So we have a lot of building materials in here.
Correct.
Well, and so there's a lot of information that we can gather when we look at what are the kinds of solutions that people would model and make. And so this is where this can come in handy, right? And it doesn't have to be something fancy. It's just, give them some building blocks, give them some drawing tools, give them some anything that they can make or model with.
Exactly. All that information of the reasoning why they're doing their solution, and that way it gives you so much information.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise around these kinds of activities that we do as in-house, as well as what y'all could do out there in your businesses in order to understand your customers better. And really, it's all about how do you paint that clear picture of who your customer is and what is it that they value. And it's those insights that's really going to help you create better services, processes, and products for the people you serve. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us. We hope that you liked this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.
Do you have any questions or topics you'd like us to tackle? Shoot over an email to hello@collabocreative.com.